morning, everybody. It's Emily, and this week's recipe is Tonga toast from the Kona Cafe at the Polynesian Resort. And this is probably one of the most talked about recipes on my favorite website, the Disboards. And so I figured I would try to make it. This week I have helpers. This is Miriam, Victoria, and Helena, the Willis girls, and my own Helena will be helping me today. And Adrian's behind the scenes, so if you hear anybody laughing or snorting, it's probably her. So this looks to be a pretty simple recipe, but I have to warn you that I've never actually had Tonga toast, so I'm not sure if it's going to be right or wrong, but we're going to give it a shot. So you're going to start with sourdough bread, and it needs to be a loaf bread so that you can cut it yourself. You're going to have eggs, whole milk, bananas, vanilla, oil, sugar, and cinnamon. So not a whole lot of ingredients. It seems like this would be a pretty good one to try to attempt. But again, I've never eaten it, so who knows? We'll see what happens. So to start this recipe, you're gonna cut the sourdough into 1 to 1.5 inch slices. They need to be super thick because you're gonna stuff bananas in it. You're doing a great job, Miriam.
Thank you. Make sure it's the right size. It's just not cutting very easily.
Should we get another knife and try it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little messy looking.
Recipe, the first thing you're going to do is cut your sourdough into nice thick 1 to 1.5 inch pieces. They need to be nice and thick. The next thing you want to do is take your bananas and you're going to cut them in half. And then you're going to cut the half in half. And lengthwise, yeah. And then you're going to cut that in half. It's going to sort of give you 1/8 of the banana. Good job. Then you're going to mix your egg and your milk all together with your vanilla. And I'm actually tripling the recipe that's on all ears just because there's 9 of us tonight, and I got a feeling they're going to love this. So you should have 1 egg, but I'm actually using more than that. Then you're going to mix your dry ingredients together, your cinnamon and your sugar. And make sure that those are all really well incorporated. This is going to be the topping that goes on your toast. I had my nails done for a reason, so make sure you get them. Bread looks very good, Mir.
Thank you.
Now what you want to do is cut about a 1 inch pocket into the side of the sourdough and then stuff it with 2 of the banana pieces that you've cut up. Once you've stuffed your bread, take it and dip it in your egg and milk mixture. And you're going to want to let it soak for a few seconds to sort of soak up all that goodness. And then we'll move over to the stove when that's ready to go in. So now that you've got everything soaked and ready to go, if you can grab a hold of one, grab a hold of a big old thick slice of toast, put it in your oil. It says to let it sit for about 3 minutes, but I think that really depends on how hot your oil is. I'm hoping mine's not too hot. Like I said, I've never had Tonga toast, and I've never really been a big French toast connoisseur. I mean, I like a good French toast, who doesn't? But I've never been a professional at making it. So we're gonna let that sit. I did turn my heat down from earlier. Turn it back up a little bit. Flip it over, it should be golden brown. Look at that. That's pretty. It looks good. Let's hope it tastes good. After you get it golden brown on both sides, you're gonna take it over to a plate with paper towels or a wire cooking rack so it can drain. And then depending on how many people you're cooking for, Just keep them coming. I've heard a lot about Tonga toast. The only place I've ever eaten at the Polynesian is Ohana's, and I love it. Maybe one day we'll try to make the sticky wings. But I've always liked Ohana's, but I've never eaten at the Kona, and I've always heard such great things about the Tonga toast, so this will definitely be interesting, for sure. So now that you've got a couple drained and they've been sitting for a minute, we can go ahead and finish them off and see how they taste. So now you're at the final step. It's been pretty easy so far. I hope it's as good as it smells, because it really does smell good. What you're going to do now is you're going to take your toast that you've had draining for just a couple minutes, and you're going to sprinkle it with cinnamon and sugar. A lot. One more, please. And then after you're sprinkled, cut it in half, and then you can top it with butter or syrup or whatever you feel comfortable topping it with. And that should be the Polynesian's Kona Cafe's Tonga toast. I'll let you know in just a second if it's as good as it looks. Okay, so Victoria likes syrup.
Yes.
So we're gonna pour a little syrup on top of this, and she's gonna taste it and tell us what she thinks. Is that good?
That is perfect.
Great.
Yes, I'm excited. I hope it tastes good. If I can.
It's a little doughy. Just rip it apart with your fingers. It's always best if you have to rip it apart. There you go. Don't be easy on it.
See here, if I can get some of the banana in there. I'll just eat it with my fingers.
That was a big bite, Victoria.
Very good.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yay! Tonga toast from Kona Cafe at the Polynesian. Again, this is cookingdisney.com. Come see me over on the Discords. My screen name is Bunkin's Mom. My real name's Emily. Drop me a line at cookingdisney@gmail.com and let me know what you would like us to cook from the Disney parks next week. Have a good week, and we'll see you on Monday.